All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is for you right now. And hopefully, if you're in the South, you're not experiencing the same kind of weather that I am with no power, 40 degrees in my house. But guess what? Things go on. We have Carrie here today. How are you doing, ma'am?
I am doing really good today. Not as cold as you are, but doing pretty
Right,
good.
right. It's okay. We'll survive. We'll survive.
Yeah, I'm in that AZ weather, so it's nice and cool here.
Yes, yes. So, Carrie is someone that I met off of TikTok. She also runs a platform about mental health advocacy and addiction and recovery. She has a great story. I want to hear it from you. So, Carrie, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, I am 35 years old. I've got two boys, Nicholas and Connor. They are 12 and 9. I've been married for the last, oh gosh, we're coming up on our anniversary in like a week. 14 years.
14
Don't
years.
tell them I
Wow.
forgot how many years, but
That means it's good. When you can't even
yes.
count, it's good.
Yeah, we've been together for since we were 19. So, he's all that we know, or all that I know. Um, I grew up in a household with addiction. Um, my mother was in and out of rehab my whole life. So that was a really huge toll on me as a kid. Um, and, I thought I healed from that. I thought that having my own kids would be like I could do it better type thing. Um, but then that's where my story begins with, I was struggling with a lot of like health issues. Going to traditional doctors like left and right, getting no answers, just medications, band-aids, and I got a false diagnosis with MS.
Oh,
It
wow.
runs in my family, and they're like, "Oh, you have nerve issues? Okay, cool. Let's do an MRI. You've got lesions on your brain? Cool. It's MS." The lesions weren't from MS. It was due to the drinking because at that time in my life,
Yeah.
nobody had knew that I was drinking. Um, and that led to me being in the hospital nonstop because I just would stop eating and I was just drinking like liquor 24/7. And that's when, the journey really began. My husband didn't even know how to really assist me because he didn't even really know what was going on.
Same.
Uh, so, it's funny, the first time that he acknowledged that it was a problem, I was sitting in a hospital bed and I overheard the doctor talk about my blood alcohol content. And he's like, "Wow, she doesn't even drink at all. Like, what are you talking about?" And he's
Right.
like, "Well, do you have like mouthwash in the house?" And like me, I'm pretending to be asleep. I open my eyes. I'm like, "I don't drink mouthwash. I drink Tito's." Like just being a
Yeah.
smart
Yeah.
ass. But, and then it led to now I had to face reality. I tried doing it on my own. Came home and tried to stop drinking, tried to go to the traditional route with getting my health back under control. I didn't really have health issues. It was the drinking that was creating the elevated health issues for myself. Um, so after doing that for a couple of years, trying to hide it, control it, maintain it, see if I can drink normal. No, there is no drinking normal with
There's
me.
no normal in drinking. Yeah.
No, there's not. So finally, like I hit my bottom. I had about enough. I was tired of waking up with the shakes. My husband didn't know what to do, so we got on to Google. And what's funny is this is my world in recovery. Like I work in recovery, my mom's in recovery, like I'm surrounded by it, but I still didn't even know how to like help myself in that moment.
Right.
Went to treatment, graduated 30 days. I'm saved. I'm cured.
Yeah. Been there.
Went home. Yeah. Went home 2 weeks, fall back on my face again. Went back to the same place. That's when things started to get more dark as far as my story. Because like my recovery or my addiction, it steamrolled like to maintain to like bad real quick.
Yeah.
Um, and I went to that treatment facility back again and I experienced a lot of trauma. I was in a facility to where there was men on one side, women on another
Women.
side. And one of the technicians allowed a man to walk past in the middle of the night and, was in my bedroom. So that's when the old Carrie decided to come out and pop out. And I demanded my stuff. I wanted to leave. Mind you, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I didn't care.
You didn't
They
feel
didn't
safe
take a
for
phone
one.
call. Huh?
Yeah. You didn't feel safe for one.
No, they weren't listening to me. I couldn't call my
No.
husband. Like at that point, I was like, I'm gonna call the cops. Like I'm out. Like I feel safer on the street than inside this place. So they gave me my stuff. I left. I wandered. Ended up going to a hotel. Um, Disappearing for days. But then I woke up and my husband miraculously had found me. I had no idea how he found me, but he did. Thankfully, brought me back home, and that's when things. You know, I just didn't care. I wasn't ready. I
Yeah.
was ready, but I wasn't ready to make the change. So I just continued. Um, I did that right in front of my kids. The one thing that I always told myself I would never do because of how I was raised. Um, and I woke up one morning to my mom. My mom, my grandma, and my sister drove overnight from California because my husband had just about had enough. He called them. He was like,
Intervention.
yeah, he was like, I don't know what else to do for this girl. Like, she's not listening to me. But they picked me up, took me to California, and the only way to get me in the car was to give me what I wanted. But
Yep.
it worked. But unfortunately, at that time, like I'd already created so many issues due to the drinking. I spent my whole ride to California just, not to be gross, but it's real. Like I tore my esophagus, couldn't keep anything down, not even alcohol at that point. So I'm constantly throwing up and throwing up and throwing
Hmm.
up. I get to this detox, and psychosis is a real thing. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I hit psychosis. Left that detox facility, and then here I go again. I'm disappearing. So that was my cycle to try to get me into treatment. Like I wanted to go, but I wasn't ready, and then I was experiencing like all of these like side effects because of the level that I was taking it. So it really took like an army of people to like really find me and to help me because I wouldn't help myself.
Right.
Um, so finally, I guess my mom had put like some locator on me. I had no idea. So she found me, got in the car, and that is where the beauty of my story begins because I met my mom's house manager. She is
Okay.
the owner of like all of the homes down there. She met us at the hospital, and you know, it's time. Um, but again, I still wouldn't go in. Even in psychosis, I wouldn't go in. I didn't care. I still wanted a drink. So they gave me that one last request because they knew that if they didn't give that to me, they were going to lose me.
Yeah.
So they gave it to me, and then, I don't remember much in that time period because I did get out of control at the hospital. I won't lie. So they did booty juice me. So I was out for a
Yeah.
couple of days, but I woke up and I was scared because I was by myself. I'm in a whole different state. I thought I was still in Arizona. Like I was trying to walk home from this detox in California to Arizona. And my husband's like, you're not even in the same state. Like you're not going to get very far.
Wow. Yeah.
But yeah, and then I went to the last place that really saved my life is Golden Road down there. I was there for 35 days. I was supposed to get out on Thanksgiving Day. And I was scared. Like that's a big day.
Yeah.
That's a huge like holiday, like drinking day
I
for
got
me.
out on New Year's Day,
Oh,
2025, so I understand. Yeah.
yeah, I would have stayed. I would have stayed. I'm like, no, you want me to stay here? So I did. Like I asked the clinical director. I was like, hey, just give me one more day here. And he looked at me like I was crazy. He goes, people typically want to leave. I'm like, well, I want to leave, but I know I need to stay for myself because I know
Right.
that if I go into that environment where I'm at now with it being around me, I wasn't strong enough. So I ended up staying, um, which was amazing because I was able to give back to that entire house. I helped our chef cook Thanksgiving dinner for
Oh.
all of the residents and the staff, which is really like, it was a really cool experience for me to be able to give back like that.
Yeah.
So then
That's
once
kind
I
of how I
left
felt
there,
this year. When I went to rehab, it was December of 2024,
yeah.
and my mother and my sister and my husband drug me there by the hair of my head. And I
I
was
know
like
that.
you, where it happened like overnight almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drank. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I did drink, but never to the extent of alcoholism. And then
Oh, 100%.
I went on medical leave because I was having some medical issues at work and I was lost. My husband's working. FMLA means you're not getting paid. So I'm laying at home. I can't work. I can't bring home an income. And I'm just so depressed. And I started drinking.
Yeah.
Didn't see a problem in it at first because I already drank. But
Oh,
when you start
100%.
drinking it, when you know that the liquor store opens at 7 a.m. and your body is shaking and trembling and ready for that drink at 5 a.m., you're just sitting there begging for seven.
Yeah,
And when,
100%. Like I've done that before. I've been at the gas
yeah,
station by the door a minute earlier just to wait.
yeah,
And then I go so frequently, like the guy at the
they know your
stand,
order.
he already knows what I'm
Me
coming in
too.
for. And I'm just
That was
like,
such a big
wow,
problem
like
too with
I thought I was
quitting.
so cool. I was like,
I
wow, like
did
he
too
really
at
knows me.
first.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm a regular. Yes. I'm like,
My
but
husband's
no.
like, "Do you think it's so cool that they know your alcohol order and that they have it sitting there waiting for you, Maren? That's a problem." I'm
Right,
like,
right.
"No, I'm just popular there." And they're like, "No,
But we don't see it like that, you
no,
know?
you
Like
don't."
it, yeah. It's
And then
so
when I
easily
got to
accessible.
rehab, the thing that scared me the most, my rehab director, Jeannie, she looked at me and she said, "I've been talking to you for 2 days. Your room's ready, everything's ready, but you're not." I said, "What do you mean? I'm here."
Yeah.
She said, "But you are not medically ready." And they sent me to the hospital, just like you had to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And she was like, "I just can't. You are not medically ready for admission." And I had to go to the hospital and start detoxing there. I had the DTs, which didn't know what that was like. I had never had the DTs in my life.
Oh, yeah, those are not fun.
Not fun. So they put me, and granted, I live in a very, very, very small rural country town.
Hmm.
And I have been an HR director in the healthcare field for 25 years. If you are a nurse, a CNA, a nurse practitioner within 25 miles, you know me.
Right.
I've hired you somewhere at some point.
Right.
They have me literally laying in a bed by the nurse's station because they have to make sure that you don't go into a seizure.
Hmm.
And these are people that I knew who had no idea I had a problem, who had no idea, and they're just looking at you like they feel double sorry for you. And I'm like, "Don't feel sorry for me.
Yeah.
Please give me some empathy, but don't give me all this sympathy because I don't need that. I
Right.
did this to myself, and it was because my life's been turned upside down. Like, yes, be there for me, but don't feel sorry for me.
100%.
I
Yeah.
don't want you to feel sorry for me. Like, and because I'm still in my eyes, like I'm still these people's supervisor.
Yeah.
An HR director is like the second or third highest position in the entire corporation.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was surreal
Yeah. It's like
letting people
sometimes
have
those
to see
moments
you that
are,
way.
it's hard, but sometimes it's necessary to kind of be in that moment with the shoe being on like the other
Yeah,
end.
for
Because I
sure.
kind of had that similar with mine. Like, you know, with my mom, like I was
Yeah.
always the one trying to run around and find her
Yeah.
and throw her into rehab, the hospital, and save her.
You were
And
taking care of her. You need someone
yeah,
to
and then
take
here
care of
she
you
is.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm an adult, and she's like trying to return the favor, and I'm like, like it's just so, it's like a humbling experience.
it
So I
is
definitely, yeah,
very humbling experience. And then when I did get into treatment, we had the big running joke that I was undercover recovery because I couldn't let my bosses know I was there.
yeah,
And I was on FMLA, so I'm not missing work.
right,
But if I would have let them know I was there, I would have lost my job. And unfortunately, things didn't get better. Even though I became sober, like I had a lot of medical issues
yeah,
derived from the drinking that as of March 2025, after 25 years of HR, I no longer work.
Yeah.
You know, my podcast, my TikTok, my content creation. This is me trying to forge a living when I've been in corporate America for 25 years. It's insane, but it's telling my story. At first, it was kind of like I didn't mind telling it on TikTok because I didn't have like personal friends on TikTok.
Right.
Like you were kind of saying earlier today about Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
But that is when it became so much. When I put myself out there on Facebook and Instagram and
Yeah.
said, I don't care who knows my story.
It's almost easier to own it so you can get through it versus just trying to pretend that it's not there. Because it is a
Yeah,
part of us. It always
it
will be a part.
is. And especially when they're people are not going to judge you as much as you think. I
Right.
had so many I'd be in lives, like I was doing live at first on TikTok, and all of a sudden, like people from work would jump in, and I'm like, I'm sitting here talking about alcohol and recovery and mental illness,
Right.
and here comes one of my nurses, but they were just like, wow, this is something about you I didn't know. And I wish I had because I would have understood you better. I didn't know you were suffering this way. And then when they would hear me talking about how work and work burnout and work
Yeah.
stress affected it so much, so many of them took it personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was calling you at midnight for stupid reasons. I was bugging you all the time because I knew you would listen. Because
Yeah.
I'm going to listen, I'm going to have your back, but you have to understand boundaries.
Right.
You know, when
100%.
it's
A lot of people
Saturday
don't.
at 2 o'clock
Yeah.
in the morning and you're just wanting to talk about your raise, honey,
I know.
I don't want
Like,
to hear that
come
right now
see me
because you
on.
definitely ain't getting it now.
100%. Like, come meet me on the work day. Like, please don't bother me on my weekend. Like, that's my safe space.
Exactly.
Like,
There was
that's for me
no
and my
boundaries
family.
there.
I know.
And no boundaries. And so for you though, when you were going through thinking a lot of medical things were going on, was it just the alcohol or did you have anything
So I already have,
actually?
yeah, like I have underlying stuff already. Like I'm anemic. I do have a lot
Yeah.
of nerve damage.
Yeah, I do
So
too.
like, and that's just from child labor. But I also have a new diagnosis that recently I just started going to a holistic doctor because I just about had enough to traditional
Yeah.
doctors. But she gave me this diagnosis that, you know, you have to, in a sense, like you got to get a gene test to see if you have
Uh,
it, but it's expensive. So if I just live as if I do and just do lifestyle changes and
yeah.
see if that helps, it's cool because I've got like this, I think it's called EDS or something. It's like when your ligaments or something, they're kind of like more spongy.
Okay.
So basically, I've had hernias, like,
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm
I've had
really
hernia
young, and
surgery.
it's not
Yeah.
normal. So it's just created a lot of gut issues.
Yeah.
So I mean, that I'm in the process of working through, but the alcohol didn't make it any
Mm.
better.
Makes
It
it 10
definitely
times
elevated it.
worse. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Like, because I was using that alcohol for the pain that I was having because
Yes.
I didn't want to take medications. My mom was on opiates my whole life, so I had this huge issue. So in my head, let's just buy alcohol because you can buy it at the liquor store.
Because it's
But
legal and anyone can get it. So it's not that big of a deal.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And it's just like I was already a social drinker as is. Like I live on a block where all of our kids are the same age. So like we all hang out on the weekends, play pool, go swimming, this and that. Like every one of us have our own thing for like entertainment wise. But I did notice myself like my husband would stay home and not go out and party with us, and then I would be out till 2 o'clock in the morning, and then here I am stumbling through my front door, and then now I'm just plopped up on the living room because I can't even make it to my bedroom.
Yeah.
And then it turned into isolation. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed because I couldn't even function. Like I,
Yeah.
drink, sleep, drink, sleep, drink. That's it.
Yeah.
I just got in this routine. Like I gave up. And I didn't see a way out. Like I remember telling myself in those moments of, I'd take a shot. Okay, I'm only gonna have 15 shots this morning instead of 20.
Yeah.
But then I would get there and I feel great. Oh, let's have a little bit more. And I would just take it too far. And it was just this endless loop. And it was hard for me to have that acceptance and ask for help because
Yeah.
I turned into the one thing that I promised myself I never would. I was ashamed for it for a very long time, but as I went through recovery, like I went to sober living with my mom. Like, who could say that?
No, not
Like, who
nobody
could
that I
say that
know.
you got sober
Yeah.
with your mom, you went to meetings together, sober living, the whole nine works, all of that. But I needed that. Like, that's what I was missing my whole life
Yeah.
is that connection with her because she started using when I was very, very young, and I just like I lost her, but I understood her for the first time in my life with
Yeah.
being in that position that I put myself in. So it was
So
interesting.
you did your detox and then you did your 30 days and then y'all were in sober living together or y'all were in the 30 days together too?
So we didn't do residential together. So
Okay.
6 months before I got into treatment, my grandparents actually they went to Italy.
Okay.
So my mom she used that time to kind of wild out.
Yeah. She went
So
wild
I
out.
got that call when I was in my active addiction to get her into treatment. And I did. I still helped to get her into treatment, even though that night I was drinking.
Yeah.
I
You
remember
should
that
have been
night.
right there with her, but at the
Oh
time,
yeah,
yeah.
vividly.
Got you.
But she got into treatment. But when I went down there 6 months later, I didn't do residential with her. I did it by myself. Um, and sober living, we weren't at the same house, obviously. Like I love my mom to death, but there is a healthy space on that one. I can't live with
No,
her again. And
absolutely
and
understand.
she feels the same way. So mom, if you're
Right.
listening,
You
I
know,
do love
mom.
you.
You know, mom.
But it was cool because the cluster of homes that I was a part of, sober living, I've never experienced that ever.
Right.
But I tell you what, they have their system right because they not only have their own individual home on what that home does for those residences. But every Saturday they had it's called an anchor meeting. We all,
Okay.
as homes, would go to like their main home and have like an outdoor speaker meeting.
Okay.
Um, and that's where I was able to see my mom, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I'm like,
Yeah.
we're sober,
We're
yeah, like
sober,
we're my
mom. Me and
people. But
you.
and it was cool. I stayed out there for a year. I might have stayed out there a little bit longer than I should have. I had kids, I had a husband.
You had to be ready though.
And that's where I was at. Like I watched my mom do it so many times. I was like,
Right.
man, like I'm gonna do everything that she didn't do. Um, so then, coming home after a year, like my expectations of everything being okay
Right.
with everything at home was being sober was enough. But it really wasn't. It
Yeah.
took me probably all last year to really figure that one out.
I think one of the biggest mistakes I made was I did not go to sober living. So I did my 14 days detox. I did my 30 days, in inpatient. And the majority of my friends, like my roommate, she went to sober living, but she wasn't married. She wasn't working. I mean, she needed that, what I figured was that extra help, that extra push. And
Right.
I'm going home to my husband. So I didn't think I needed sober living.
Yeah.
And I kind of really, looking back at it now, it's something I really wish I would have done. That it's not just, I looked at it at the time as we had a lot of people that either were homeless or
Yeah.
they had been in and out of jail and treatment facilities and their kid they were under CPS or whatever, so they
Yeah.
had to go to sober living and I didn't. I was like, I don't need that. Like, this 30 days is enough. I'm good.
Oh,
And it
100%.
it, and it just it wasn't. It
Yeah.
was until it wasn't. I was
Yeah.
great until my father-in-law, so my husband's dad. I got out on January 1st, 2025. And in March, my father-in-law passed away. And I had been on, like I said, FMLA. So my father-in-law had got diagnosed with cancer. And I was the one taking him to chemo and taking him to all his appointments because I was the one not working and I was the one who had, the free time and the opportunity to. And then after he passed, I relapsed.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jeannie, my director, who's going to be one of my guests coming up, doesn't even know yet that I relapsed. That's not something I've been very open about, to be honest with you.
You know,
Um,
I'll be honest
it-
with mine then. My recovery date is 10/23/24. However, I did have a hiccup last year that I
mhm.
did keep very close to my heart. You know, a date is just a date. Um, but at the same time, it meant more to me. But I
Yeah,
did, like I fell on my face last year. So I mean, we've all done it. You know, it's a part
yeah,
of our story. It's just a matter of like how we get back up. You know,
yes,
not
it's
to
a matter of
continue
picking
that
yourself back
spiral.
up. My
Yeah.
thing was, I married late in life. You know, I didn't get married until I was 38 years old for the first time, and my husband's first marriage as well. And it was, I guess, 2021. We were drinking heavily. Like before my husband, I drank some wine, I drank some beer, like I would kind of, social. And then here I am marrying a sailor who's like, bourbon, whiskey, let's take all the shots, let's drink after work every night. And I wasn't
Oh,
like
I get
that.
that lifestyle.
But he made me
It's
like
that community.
that. And back in the day, I used to like to tell him, "You made me this way." But 2021, right after we got married, he stopped drinking and he's never drank again.
That's
So
amazing.
here I am, the girl that did not have the alcohol problem, married a man who did have an alcohol problem, who got sober, and I couldn't.
Yeah.
And I escalated and I became the issue, but he was there for me and has still been there for me. And even when I hid it, like, man, I lied. I would hide it. I would pour it into a water bottle and I would never let him know. And he was like, Maren,
Oh, girl,
I
the
know when
lengths
you're
that
drinking,
he
you
would
idiot.
take to hide it. Like
You
I had
idiot.
empty spaghetti jars that I rinsed out that I would pour it in
Yes.
there and hide all throughout my house. Like it's embarrassing to say that, but like we've all
No, but
done
you
it.
do what you have to do when you're trying to
Yeah.
hide it. You can't admit it to yourself. So you definitely can admit it to your husband or your children or your family or your friends. I mean,
Oh, I'll admit it to my husband, no doubt now.
I
But I
will
mean, then I
now.
wouldn't. Like
Then
now
I
we talk
wouldn't.
about
Heck
it.
no. Now I'm like, honey, I need some help. I'm thinking about drinking, or honey, I need,
Right.
And granted, although I've been sober from alcohol, now I have chronic pain. I
Mhm.
have a torn ACL, a torn meniscus. Walking in itself is painful. So I will say I had started taking like the gummies.
Mhm.
And to me, I'm like, but it's not alcohol. So you're still sober and you're doing it for pain. But the more I sit on it all the time, I'm like, Maren, it's the same thing. I see a pain doctor.
Right. I mean,
And I
I
and I'm
think
not taking the narcotics because the same kind I don't
right.
have the history like with the parent, but I have the history with myself.
Right.
So I'm not taking the narcotics because I don't want to become addicted. But I'm becoming addicted to gummies. So I'm like, Maren, quit making excuses that one's better than the other.
Yeah, I mean, we have that addictive personality. Like we can be
Very much so.
addicted to drinking coffee, like me now.
Yeah.
I'm a coffee addict, you know, or
That's
like,
my husband.
vaping. People get sober and they
Yeah.
pick up a vape. And,
That's
I'll
what he
be
did.
honest. I will, sweetheart, I love you, but I did vape a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, my mom, like, she dropped me off at rehab this last time, and she handed me a baggie of old vapes, and she's like, "You're gonna want these," and I said, "No, I don't want that," and she goes, "I'm
You're gonna
telling
want
you,
these.
it'll help you." I was like, "Okay, yeah, whatever." So then when everyone's like, in the smoke circle, I'm like, "All right, let me."
Yep.
Oh, and it helps. It
Yes, it does.
really definitely did help. But however, like, they are not healthy for you at
They're
all.
not
And,
healthy, but
you
it's
know, Yeah, like,
It's
and
gonna take
my
a while to you can be addicted to food. I mean, I was addicted to food. You can be addicted to sex. You could be addicted to
shopping,
gambling,
everything. I know,
pornography,
like,
like name it. Somebody's gonna find something else to be addicted to if it's not alcohol or drugs.
yeah,
I mean, you
100%.
really just have to work on that why. Why do I need something? What
Yeah,
is my issue? And make sure that if you need to go to counseling, therapy, need to be on medication. I mean, whatever it is, like eventually we're going to get there. But
100%. And that's a big one to swallow for me is medication. Because, last year when I kind of fell off a little bit, I did go to a doctor for, medication because
yeah,
I did feel like depression, anxiety coming back. And I wanted to get back on like my typical meds that they give you in detox because they did help
yeah,
me. Well, she had given me something different that triggered like my psychosis that I had went through. And I don't want to, I take full accountability for my relapse, but it definitely did add to it. So it's
yeah,
just like, but like recently I went back on medication and it's like, it's hard to say that we need that sometimes with,
what we
just to kind
do.
of get recentered. And I've been on it for a week and like, I can already notice a difference in it. So sometimes you just have to step out of your own way and just accept the help, even if it is like a
Yeah.
medication, like,
And for real, like I'm the total
yeah,
opposite. Like, okay, so after I got out of rehab and I went back to see my doctor and I was getting back on my medications, we skipped one and it wasn't on purpose. I take something for anxiety, for depression. I have bipolar borderline personality disorder, so I take something for that, plus a couple of different medical issues.
yeah.
We totally skipped over my bipolar medication. He didn't realize, I didn't realize. So that entire year, my first year after rehab, was horrible and I couldn't understand why.
Yeah.
And then one day I was just like, hey, Chris, where's my Abilify? Is what I take. I said, where's my Abilify? And he was like, Marion, you haven't taken Abilify in like a year. I said, bullshit. That's what I take for my bipolar. He was like,
Right.
honey, you've been off of that for a long time. And it hit me. Oh my God, I have been. So
Yeah.
this time where I've been extremely depressed, can't understand why, can't get myself to refocus or recenter, totally just went off the rail. I was off of my Abilify. And as soon as I got back on it, which has now been like a month and a half ago,
Hmm.
life changing. Life
It's
changing.
amazing.
And I'm like, seriously, because of a stupid mistake of not
Right.
realizing we didn't refill a medication. And so it never got refilled again.
Oh, jeez.
I went through so much that I didn't have to go through.
Yeah,
But it
100%.
made me realize I need my medicine. I don't want to
Yeah,
have to
we
take it. I
do,
don't want to
you
have to
know?
wake up. And I have a handful of medications to take, like 10, when you
Yeah,
talk
like
about,
it's,
medical stuff too.
yeah,
But I have to. I
yeah,
have ADD, I have depression, I have anxiety, I have BPD, and I have bipolar 1.
yeah.
So, you have to have your medication. You have to.
Yeah,
And I never
sometimes we
wanted
just
to
need that
admit that, but you
extra,
do.
yeah, we just need
That
that
extra
extra
little
boost.
push,
That's like,
little
like a
bit of
little push.
extra.
That way you can start building your toolbox with all your coping stuff and,
Yes,
like,
yes.
certain medications, yes, might need to be on more long term than others, but sometimes like if you get the right concoction for your toolbox, hey, maybe that
Yeah,
anxiety medication, you don't have to take it every single time you're having a
that's
panic attack.
exactly right.
Maybe you can
Yes,
just sit down and utilize your tools, call somebody, do this, do that, do whatever works for you.
yes.
'Cause
And
that's
I'm
all
big
about
on
routine.
cognitive therapy. Like, I really have
Yeah,
to, yeah. And I've got to talk things out. And even if it's just my husband or a friend, I mean, even heck, we haven't even met. And when I was talking to you the other night at the store, like I was literally kind of was talking myself out of things that you didn't even realize I was talking myself out of. You just have to
right.
have talk to someone that you trust and that is going to be able to handle you and give you advice and even just active listening. No advice at all. Just listen to me.
100%.
Obviously I need to be heard right now. And as long as you're listening, I'm good. Now I've solved my
Yeah.
problem. Let's move on. You have to have those
Sometimes all
people.
we need to do is just hear the words out of our mouth and it's just like a
Yes.
release. And that's it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
We can solve a lot of stuff ourselves if we allow ourselves to.
Right.
My mic just told me, low battery, please charge. I'm like, woman, don't tell me what to do.
You're like, oh,
I don't even have
Lord.
electricity. I don't even know how you're working.
I know. I'm like, this is
I'm like,
amazing.
how is
Like,
this thing still?
you
It's because
have
it's plugged
no
into my
electricity and
computer.
you're still making it work.
I know. Well, it's plugged into the computer, which has been charged. So
That's
now
good.
it's like, okay, this is going down a little bit. But hey, it's getting to
You'll
that
have to
time
get
anyway,
yourself a
so we're
little
good.
like a generator and like a backup power
I
bank.
know. My husband wanted to buy a generator this weekend. I was like, honey, we are not spending that kind of money on a generator. We're not going to lose electricity. Everything's going to be great.
Just go to Harbor Freight. They always got
Yeah.
coupons
As
for
I
those
sit here in
things in
this house at
the
40
mail.
degrees while he's at work. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
So, with you, where do you see yourself going with your mental health advocacy? Like you've had a road. You've been through it. You've experienced it with your parent. Like where do you want to take your next step? As I drop my phone.
So I'm running with it. I've been in recovery my entire life. Like, it's been my whole world. I've worked
Yeah.
in a treatment center since I was 18. Like I don't know everything. So I don't want to be one of those people that like I know it all because I definitely don't. There's still a lot to learn. But I definitely know a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
And I think honestly in a I lost my job. The company did go under a few months ago. I was devastated because I was clinical. I loved my job. I love helping people. I love being
Yeah.
able to, I'm just gonna, see the shit show that we come in and then see the beautiful butterfly that comes out. I love that,
Exactly.
and I
Yeah.
love
I do
being a
that in
part of that.
HR. Yeah.
Yeah, so, TikTok, I just kind of like started playing around with it. I think most of us moms get on TikTok to try and do the shoppable apps and sell things because we all just need income and that's life and that's okay.
Yeah.
But something kept tugging at my heart with recovery and mental health. I was starting to struggle a little bit myself. And so I just started kind of tiptoeing into putting more stuff out there. And it was getting attention. And
Yeah.
you
I
know,
found you.
I'm that person that pays attention to like these signs in life. Like I pay attention to everything. Like maybe that just makes me crazy because I overthink things, but
Nah.
everything between
Makes you
life,
insightful.
church, school, everything leads me back down this road. I want to make this a big community for support,
Yeah.
for not just moms that are struggling that have the similar story, but anybody. Like I want, my page to be like, you're struggling, call me.
Yeah.
You need someone to talk to. I'm here. I have you. Like it goes way beyond now, for trying to have an income on TikTok. It goes more or
Yeah.
less, I don't want to have somebody else feel like they don't have anybody to reach out to when they need help, like I did. Like, I
Right.
know I had my husband because like I don't want to make him feel some type of way. Like, that has
I
nothing
have
to
a
do with
husband too, but
him.
it's different.
I
Yeah.
just couldn't step out of my own way to help me to ask anybody. But I want to make this into a huge platform, and support everybody. I'm in the process of actually writing my own book.
Me
If
too.
anybody if anybody gives a shit about the story of Carrie, it's going to be out when it's done. I can't give you a
Of
timeline because
course,
it's
I
slow
give a shit
working
about the story
progress.
of Carrie.
But it's good stuff. And like the process of writing it, it's actually really like healing. There's a lot of stuff in my childhood I never really thought was an issue until now that I'm an adult. I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's that's a little toxic. Let's work on that.
Right,
But
right, right. One thing
it's
that we
it's
used to
cool.
do on TikTok, and it's been a while because I was off for a couple of months, but I really would like to bring it back. We used to
Hmm.
do Sunday panels, and there was about, I think there were 6 or 7 of us that had some type of mental health experience or mental health background.
Yeah,
And we went on in boxes as a panel, and everyone would come in, and we literally did Sunday panel chat. And we would
I
choose a
think that's
topic.
amazing.
I loved it. And the only
You should
reason
bring
it
it back and
stopped,
I'll do it with
we're
you. I'll
bringing it
tell them I've been
back. We're
there.
bringing it back. We are bringing it back, and we're going to do this.
I
I'm going to
like
talk to
that. Like,
a couple of the other guests that I've had or that we're having, and I would love to do that again because it was a
that'd be
hit.
really cool.
It was a really big hit. Like we would have a packed house, and we would literally all sit there and talk panel style.
100%. Because, like, I feel like from my experience of something that I gravitated towards is the people, like the staff in like rehabs
Hmm.
and stuff. I'm not going to listen to somebody who does not have a recovery story. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
said it. Shoot me. I
Yeah.
mean, I can't
No,
say that
it
right.
was a requirement at my rehab that you have
But
been in
yeah.
rehab. Hmm.
So like, when if you're giving me advice and you don't even know like the dirt of like what we've
Yeah.
all been through, like I don't want that. But if the panel, like most of us that have gone through recovery, we end up going to school for recovery. I mean, that's just
Hmm.
my case, but I'm
Hmm.
finishing up school so I can be clinical director. I want
Yeah.
to do that. One of these days, I've got all this extensive background, but I think it's beautiful when people in recovery not only have their own experience, they understand it from a personal view. They
Yeah.
even with ones that have it from a child view, with parents being addicts, and then you go to school and now you're learning, how the brain operates,
Hmm.
what's connecting, what's not connecting, what's this why, what's that why. And it's just be able to bring that all together
Yeah.
and like just share it with everybody. Because if
Yeah.
everybody had more of an understanding, maybe there would be less.
Yeah. We just got to talk about it.
Yeah.
My college background is psychology. My little
Yeah.
sister, she's 35, and she's a licensed chemical and drug abuse counselor. She works in the prison system, and she's going to be one of my guests. So, I mean, there's just a lot of us that either we've been through it ourselves, we work in the profession, or both.
Yeah.
And I think it would be great. I'm probably gonna start a group chat and send it out to you guys, and let's get this going because it was such a good thing to
100%.
have, and it's so
Yeah.
therapeutic for us too.
It
Like
really
just
is.
when you're talking things out and when you're talking to others about your experiences and helping them through theirs, like nothing really beats that. It really
Yeah.
doesn't. It
It's
really,
it's
really, really
nice. It
doesn't.
makes you feel less alone. Like I remember my first meeting I went to, like I thought I was so alone. Like, no one done it like me before. Some lady spoke about talking about the spaghetti jars, putting her
Uh huh.
alcohol in there. I was like, whoa,
You're like I
we
did
really
that
are all
too.
alike. I was like, I see you. I know
I
you see
see you. I
me.
get you, girl. I get you, girl.
But like ultimately, like, our goal should be to glorify less on addiction and more on
Hmm.
recovery. I think
Yes.
it's beautiful. So I cannot wait. It's
We're
so
going to do
exciting.
this. We're doing
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
I will send out a message this evening to the
Yes.
people that I think should be involved or that have been involved with me in the past with the same thing. We're
That'll
going
be
to get
great.
this
I like that.
going.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as we're closing this up, your one goal, you've got one big goal going forward that has to do with your addiction recovery, whether it be in your field, like professionally with yourself. What is one thing you want to accomplish before 2026 is over?
I want to be able to turn my page on TikTok into a huge safe space for people to reach out to.
Yeah.
That is my ultimate goal. And to be able to achieve that goal, I do have to work on myself. And part of me is I have to stay out of my own way.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get discouraged. People are very opinionated online sometimes. And sometimes you just have to block out the noise to really get the message that you
Yes.
want to be pushed out there.
Yes.
So,
And
yeah,
align yourself with people of the same like mind because we're going to push each
100%.
other. So
Yeah.
when I see you're discouraged, you're like, oh, she's getting in her own head. Like she doesn't think she's able to do this. Yes, you can.
Yeah,
And
like let me
that's
sprinkle
where
some
we
of my
encourage each
happiness on
other.
you and vice versa.
Exactly, exactly. We have to push each other. It's like, girl, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Stop. Get out of your own
Get
way. You've
get
got
up, get
this.
out of bed.
Yes, you can do this. We've got this. Let's go take a
100%.
shower. Let's drink some water, hydrate ourselves, and eat some food. I mean,
Yeah.
things that we forget to do when we're not doing right.
100%. And so, it's okay to have that support system to acknowledge. Like if you can't
Yeah.
acknowledge it yourself, it's important to have that other person that's so close to you to say, "Hey, you're kind of you're kind of spiraling a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's take XYZ steps."
Yep.
So, it's really about, community support too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And one last thing. So if you can say something to your little girl self, your 13-year-old self, the girl that was raising her siblings while mom, is an active, addiction. We know she struggled and she went through a lot and you've grown, but what do you tell her now? What does she need to know?
That that it wasn't you. It wasn't you, because that's what I thought it was. I always thought it was us. But
It's not
yeah,
you, it's not your fault. Yeah.
it's
It's
not.
the
Yeah.
drugs, it's the
100%.
alcohol, it's not even her. It's
Yeah.
her addiction.
Oh, I know. Like, I
Yeah.
compare my mom to that now, and I'm so proud of her. But yeah,
And y'all have a great relationship now?
we do. Yeah. I mean, we do kind
Good.
of, because we are so alike, we do kind of butt heads, but we
Yeah,
also,
of course. Of course.
we're two peas in a pods. And if you get us two together, we're very loud and annoying sometimes, but we have fun.
Yes, of course. Of course. It's so great.
But yeah,
Well,
I
I
would have
am
to say that to
so
myself.
glad that you agreed to come on the show
I'm
and
so
share your
glad you had me.
story.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm so glad. And we have so much coming up. I think
Yeah,
we're going to do some great things. And, we're just going to leave with everyone knowing that it's okay not to feel okay, that we are enough, that we are okay. And if someone else doesn't think so, let them. Just let them. Their opinion of you is not your business.
100%. Your opinion of me holds no value in my safe space.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, on that note, we are going to close down, but we have got a
Woohoo.
lot coming up, girl. And I would love to have you back again with your mom.
You know, honestly, I would love for her to do that with me. I have asked her. I will ask her again.
Ask her
If
again.
I do that, it'll be when I go down to California to go visit. That
Yeah,
way, her and I can be side by side.
right.
Because then you guys can see like how we like interact side by side, and I kind
Yeah.
of just
I
add
just
to
really
it.
think it would
But
be a great episode for you and your mom to do together. So, get in her ear, talk to
I
her.
will. I will. Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be really cool.
So, what's your final words, ma'am?
We are enough.
You're enough.
And if you need help, it's
Always.
okay to reach out.
Reach out to someone. Always have somebody. And if you don't, you've got one of us. So it was
100%.
great getting to speak with you today, Carrie. And we are going to hook up again. We've got a lot of good things coming. And I will see you on the next one, ma'am.
Yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on. Have a good
Bye. Have a
day.
good day.
Bye bye.
Bye.